It's time for the Matt Lecroy Show on Fox Sports 1460. Brought to you by the Holiday Inn Middletown. Now with today's show, here's Terry Byrom.
Well, Matt, coming off 3 games over in Altoona, and actually now a couple of series that you've dropped, which is something that hasn't happened a whole lot over the last couple of months. But the team has hit a bump in the road here with 3.5 weeks to go.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can change that. We said from the beginning, if we win series, we'll put ourselves in a chance, give ourselves a chance. And unfortunately, last couple of times we haven't got it done. And we faced some good opponents. You got to give them credit, but I believe in our group we got. They just got to go out and believe they can do it. And we got some young kids in there now that are getting a taste of AA. It's not as easy as it was in A-ball, and it's going to be a challenge for these last 20 some odd games to get it done.
Last night, putting aside for a moment that it was a tough loss, I'm fairly certain I've never seen a team commit 7 errors and win a game. And for you to be in baseball a long time, if you're able to, as you've thought about that game and remove yourself from it, it was just a strange game.
Yeah, it was odd, all around. We didn't do much offensively. They made a bunch of errors, big errors, and we didn't take advantage of them. We did early, but we didn't do anything later with them. And they, took advantage of our mistakes, and that's the difference of that ball game. Is it odd that you lose when a team you're playing makes 7 errors? Yeah, but it's baseball. That's what's so great about it. Anything can happen, and you got to give them credit. They kept their heads up. They fought and battled, and they just beat us.
You just said it's baseball, and I think as I'm thinking about this off the top of my head, you're absolutely right, because there have been teams in history that have thrown no-hitters and lost. You have all these historic things that happen, and teams can still lose. And at the end of the day, it's a game, baseball, that you just have to figure out a way to have one more run than the other team.
That's the easiest way to put it, and then that's why we talk about in spring training. You have to figure out, when you go out to play defense, how I can keep a team from scoring, and then when I come in from defense, I got to figure out how to create a run. And at the end of the day, we got to score one more run than they do, and you have to figure it out. You have to, different parts of the game. You do different things, but you do it to either create runs or defend runs, and that's the biggest lesson in pro ball is each game's different, and you have to take each pitch, each inning differently, whether you're behind, whether you're ahead. But at the end of the day, you got to figure out a way to score one more run.
You mentioned about defending runs, and one of the changes in baseball that this year has become even more dramatic and really dramatic here in the minor leagues is defending against the other team scoring runs, which is actively defending, putting shifts and shades on.
Yeah, I mean, this year in spring training we implemented our shifting and shading policies. So we had to do a lot of extra work to get people in different positions to understand there's different plays now. Double play balls are going to be a lot differently. And then on the offensive side, we actually practiced against our shading and shifting ways to create runs out of it. Bunting more, hitting behind runners, all different types of things to try to defeat that defensive shift or shade that they put on us. So we've basically implemented both sides of it to try to figure out ways to do both.
Yeah, we talked about this the other day, that now about 115 games into things, and the shifting, the full-out shift, there's only been maybe a half a dozen balls hit this year on the other side of the shift.
Well, yeah, and basically if you look at the way we usually do it, our big 80% pull, we shift them, which means we have everybody except for the first baseman or third baseman on one side of the bag. Well, we basically do it. Usually they're big RBI guys, and if they hit a single, that's fine, because they still got to. Most guys who are big, they don't score on doubles, so they actually put themselves in the hole a little bit. But it's actually worked a lot more than it's failed us. So I kind of like it, but at the same time, we've still gone back to the normal. Once a guy gets on first, we don't shift and shade. We play straight up double plays.
The last question, Darren Everson done a lot of research And as you know, when you guys play Hartford, he bats the pitcher 8th. Joe Madden has done that a little. Tony La Russa has done it a little. A few other guys have done it a little. Everson is really sold out on it, that he really thinks the numbers show that works. What do you think about hitting a pitcher 8th?
Well, I think for me, I think it all depends on if the guy, to me, can handle a bat. And unfortunately, for most people that I've been around in baseball, in the National League, in the big leagues, there are very few pitchers that can really hit and handle the bat. And for me, if the numbers really showed it, I think everybody would do it. And that's the big thing for me. If the numbers really proved it, then everybody would do it. Not everybody's doing it.